Now we move to the bulb crops. There are two important bulb crops. One is onion and another one is garlic, Allium cepa and Allium sativa. So onion, the edible portion of the onion is a bulb. It is a modification of the stem. Onion is a shallow rooted crop. So origin of the onion is Iran. It is originated in the Iran. And the pungency in the onion, you all know that pungency. The onion is very pungent. The pungency in the onion is due to the presence of allyl propyl disulfide. This is also very commonly asked question. The pungency in the onion is due to the presence of allyl propyl disulfide sulfur compounds. So Allium proliferum is an intraspecific hybrid between Allium cepa and Allium fistulosum. Whenever you see a this X mark between the genus and the species, Allium X proliferum, that means it is a natural hybrid. The hybridization was occurred naturally. So the species Allium proliferum was originated by natural intraspecific hybridization between Allium cepa and Allium fistulosum. And there is a biflavonoid present in the onion, that is quercetin, that reduces the cancer. And the presence of diphenylamine in the onion makes it good for the diabetic patients. And the amino acids, Allin and L-stalin, reduce the cholesterol and heart attack. So onion is very healthy food. Onion is very healthy. Onion is very beneficial. So these are the health benefits of the onion. And there are some other Allium species we use as vegetables, like shallot, Allium escalonicum, and tree onion, Allium cepa variety, viviparum. So the tree onion is resistant to all pests and diseases. The onion belongs to the family Umbelliferae. The inflorescence is a umbel. Onion is a cross-pollinated crop due to the presence of protandry. Protandry means the male reproductive organs mature earlier than the female reproductive organs. That means the androecium comes to mature earlier than the gynoecium. Whereas in case of polyprops, crucifers, they exhibit protogyny. Whereas the Umbelliferae family exhibits protandry. So all the crucifers have protogyny. All the Umbelliferae family species have protandry. So it's a cross-pollinated crop. The cross-pollination is mediated by their honeybees. So since onion is also cross-pollinated crop, there is definitely a certain degree of inbreeding depression. For the development of hybrids, we need inbreds. So we have to self for 6 to 7 generations to get a hybrid. So to overcome the hybrid, the breeding method of selfing and mossing was used in the onion. This was also previously questioned. 2 to 3 times this question was asked. Selfing and mossing method of onion was followed to overcome dash inbreeding depression. Or sometimes selfing and mossing are followed in which crop? Onion. Step of question may come. So the bulb color in onion is governed by 5 genes, ICRGL, and the glossy foliage is a single recessive gene. It is correlated with the resistance to thrips. You can say it as like an antibiosis mechanism. So presence of the glossy leaf surface, the thrips may not prefer the feeding on the glossy foliage onion types. So the colored bulbs are said to be resistant to black mold disease. And onion was the first crop where the cytoplasmic male sterility was identified in 1925 in the variety Italian red 13-53. So cytoplasmic male sterility was first reported in onion in 1925. And there is another cytoplasmic male sterility, that is CMST. That means it is sensitive to temperature. It was identified in a French cultivar Berninger. So it was 93% male sterile at 14 degrees centigrade. When the temperature increases to 23 degrees centigrade, the male sterility reduces to 10%. It is not in use now because of its temperature sensitivity. So the white onions have high TSS and they are suitable for the dehydration. Dehydration is drying. It is a method of preservation. So when we talk about post-harvest technology, we will see dehydration. So the white color onions are generally preferred for the dehydration, and the dehydration ratio of onion is 10:1. That means if you dry 10 kg of onion, you will get 1 kg of dehydrated or dried product. So when the seed production of onion, temperature is very important for bolting and flowering. In case of bulb production, day length is very important. The Asiatic types are short days for bulb production, that is 10 to 11.5 hours, and whereas European types are long day for bulb production, 13 to 14 hours. This is also very important. The long day onion is grown in summer season in hills because in summer season in hills only we can get the low temperature and long days. So the long days European onion requires low temperature and long days, but in India only in hilly areas during summer season we get the low temperature and long days. Likewise, potato flowering. Potato also for flowering require long days and low temperature. It occurs in hilly areas during summer season, the long days and low temperature. So the multiplier onion is Allium cepa variety aggregatum. It is propagated by the bulbils, and number of irrigations are very important in onion because the number of irrigations varies with the season. In case of onion, if you grow the onion in Kharif, it requires 8 to 10 irrigations. In case of late Kharif, it requires 12 to 15. In case of Rabi, it requires 15 to 20 irrigations. The two hybrids in onion are Akka Kitman and Akka Lalima. And Kharif onion doesn't store well, it prone to sprouting. The Rabi onion stores well. Rabi onion can be stored for a long time, but the Kharif and late Kharif onion cannot store well, so that we have to send the Kharif and late Kharif onion to the market immediately. So generally we hear in the news that the onion price falls down to kg 2 rupees. That happens because of this. Because Kharif and late Kharif onion we cannot store, we have to send it to the market immediately. So all the harvest of Kharif and late Kharif onion comes in the months of October to December to the market at the same time. So there will be reflecting the price. At the same time, the Rabi onion can be stored. It can be used up to. Rabi onion is generally harvested in the months of March. It's sown in October, and harvesting will be done in the March. So Rabi onion can be stored and it can be utilized up to May. So the Rabi onion can be utilized up to May, but the Kharif onion comes in the November, December. So between May and November, there is no summer crop of onion. Because of that, there is a great demand for the onion, but there is no summer crop. So in between May to December, the price of the onion will increase. So it goes to kg 50, 60, 80. And when it comes to November and December, when the late Kharif and Kharif onion comes to the market at the same time, and so we cannot store it well now, so we have to send it to market and we have to sell it immediately, so the price will fall down. So this is a generally the price fluctuations in the onion will affect the governments also. Lot of political debates also will happen. So this is the main reason. Because we do not have any summer crop, summer onion crop, this price fluctuations are happening. This may not be required for your examination, but it's a general knowledge. Varieties suitable for Kharif and Rabi, you can refer the textbook to see what are the varieties for Kharif and what are the varieties for Rabi. So Arka Soma is a yellow onion suitable for the export, and Arka Swadishta is a fermented onion, and long day onions are brown Spanish, green Spanish, early Lockyer brown, and the Pusa Rudy is a new variety. It is very pungent, it is rich in antioxidants, that is quercetin, whereas Pusa Soumya is a bunching onion variety. That means it is Allium cepa variety aggregate variety. So another important bulb crop is garlic. It is a sexually sterile diploid. Garlic does not produce flowers, so there is no question of seed propagation in garlic. Garlic is propagated by the cloves. It requires 500 kg per hectare. Very easy to remember, 500 kg per hectare. This is also a very common question because of the unique nature. So seed rate, in seed technology we call anything seed. It may be a tuber, it may be a stem cutting, or it may be a clove, it may be a bulb. In seed technology terms, we call it as a seed. When it comes to botanically, it may change, but in seed technology point of view, we call all of them as seeds. So the seed rate means here the cloves only. The garlic seed rate is 500 kg per hectare. And there is a triploid garlic, Allium sativum variety, Scardopressum, and the great-headed garlic is a hexaploid type. So why the flavor in the garlic is due to diallyl disulfide and diallyl bisulfide. In case of onion, it is allyl propyl disulfide, but in case of garlic, it is diallyl disulfide, diallyl trisulfide. So similar to garlic, onion is also short day plants in plains and long day plants in hills. So Agrifund Pavati is a long day garlic, and Pule Baswant is a garlic that is in purple color. So another species is leek. This is a non-bulb forming Allium. Leek is used for the mainly the green shoots and leaves. It is a long day type. Leek is tetraploid crop. Leek is a tetraploid, like pumpkin. Pumpkin is a tetraploid crop. Leek is tetraploid crop. So the blanching is an agricultural operation. What is blanching? We have to cover the young shoots and leaves of the leek with the brown paper or any other paper to prevent the exposure to sunlight, so that the shoots and the leaves will remain tender, and they remain like the flavor and pungency will be retained, and the shoots will remain tender. So blanching is an important intercultural operation. In case of Brussels sprout, the important intercultural operation is cropping, removal of the apical portion. In case of leek, the important intercultural operation is blanching. We have to cover the young shoots and leaves to prevent the direct exposure to sunlight. So PPL1 is a selection from exotic germplasm, that is the variety of leek. So now we next move to the root crops. There are 4 important root crops: Daucus carota, Raphanus sativus, turnip, Brassica rapa glabra, and beetroot, Beta vulgaris. The origins, chromosome number, and other things you just refer in a book that I have not mentioned here. So radish is a very ancient root crop. It was domesticated and used even before Christ. The very ancient root crop, radish. This radish also belongs to the family Cruciferae. Since radish belongs to Cruciferae, it is protogynous, cross-pollinated, and the cross-pollination is mediated by the entomophily. That means by insects. There are 2 types of radish: the European radish and the Japanese radish. The European radish is Raphanus sativus variety radiculata, and the Asiatic or Japanese radish is Raphanus sativus variety Raphanus troides. And there is a rat-tailed radish, another species, that is Raphanus auritus. It produces pods like leguminous plants produce pods. The pods of rat-tailed radish are edible. And there is another species, oil-seed radish, that is Sativus variety oleifera. It can be used as fodder and vegetable oil and green manure purpose. And the black radish or Spanish radish is Raphanus sativus variety niger. And the important decision radish is the club root caused by Phasmodiifera brassicae. The resistance is known by the single dominant gene. And we all know that radish roots are pungent. The pungency in radish roots is due to the presence of the isothiocyanates, and like the radish also requires short days for the long root production. So what is the edible portion of the radish? It is a modified root, swollen root. That means it is the radish swollen. The swollen portion of the radish is the component of 3 types of roots. And there is primary root, secondary roots, and the hypofertile. All these 3 parts will swell and form the edible portion in radish. So high temperatures above 33 degrees centigrade cause the stigma to dry and it inhibits the pollen germination. That means seed set will affect when the temperatures above 33 degrees centigrade. The CMS in radish is Ogura type, but it is associated with the chlorophyll deficiency. That means the cytoplasmic male sterility is linked with the genes that cause chlorophyll deficiency. So European radish require vernalization for flowering because they are temperate types. They require low temperature for flowering for a particular period of time. So what is the amount? What is the temperature requirement and how many days it has to be? We will see in the next slides. So the European radish require vernalization, but the tropical radish do not require vernalization. The tropical radish can produce seed in the north even plains, but European radish require vernalization for seed set. So Jaunpur radish is a local radish cultivar. It is Jaunpur is an area in Uttar Pradesh. So it is local to that area. We can say that it is a landrace or a farmer's variety. So the radish roots can grow up to 1 meter length. And there are new varieties. Pusa himani is suitable for the hilly areas. In hilly areas, we can take 3 crops of the Pusa himani radish because of the low temperature prevails throughout the year. In Pusa himani, the Pusa himani variety can be grown 3 times a year in hilly areas. So there is another variety, Pusa jamuni, where the roots are purple color, and Pusa gulabi, where the roots are pink color. The purple pink, what is the advantage of these colored roots? Because the colored roots are present to the color is due to the presence of the anthocyanins. The anthocyanins are the potential antioxidants, which are good for the human body, which has a role in the prevention of the cancer by neutralizing the free radicals in our human body. So the summer radish is Pusa chetki. You can grow in the summer season. There is Arka nishant is resistant to bolting and pithiness. Pithiness is a physiological disorder of radish, and we will see about it later. So generally we know that radish root shape is long, but there are European types where the root shape is round. There are the rapid retroactive, scarlet glow, French breakfast. This was the previous question. which of the following is the round root shaped radish variety? This was the previous question. Rapid red white tip, scarlet globe, and French breakfast. Next root crop is turnip. This also belongs to the family Brassica, Cruciferae. So roots and leaves are edible. Here the swollen roots are hypofertile. In case of radish, the swollen roots are primary roots, secondary roots, and hypofertile. But in case of turnip, the swollen portion is the only hypofertile. The hypofertile thickening begins in the central part of the hypofertile, and the swelling proceeds towards the both ends. And the inflorescence is the same. Turnip can tolerate the freezing temperatures. And the close related species is Brassica napus variety, Nephro brassica. So the turnip process with Brassica napus and produce sterile triploids. And turnip also cross-pollinated crop due to the presence of sporophytic self-incompatibility, and cross-pollinated was mediated by the insects. So the turnip is having purple root skin color. Sometimes you can see that if you see the turnip roots, you can see the purple skin color. It is governed by two independent dominant genes, and the club root resistance is governed by two independent dominant genes. There's a mistake here. So the turnip mosaic virus is an important disease. It was transmitted by the flea beetle, and the resistance was governed by a single dominant gene. The European varieties are Pusa swarnima and Pusa chandrima, while the Asiatic varieties are Pusa kanchan, Pusa sweti, and Punjab safed 4. So carrot is another important root crop. There is a appetizer drink prepared from black carrot known as kanji. So the kanji is prepared from the black carrot. This was also one of the previous questions. Here the edible portion is taproot. In case of radish, the swollen roots are primary roots, secondary roots, and hypofertile. In case of turnip, the swollen part is the hypofertile. In case of carrot, the swollen part is the taproot. So if you see the intersection of the carrot, you can see the central inner core portion, which is formed by the secondary xylem and pith, and outer peridium will be there. Between the inner core and the outer peridium, there is a secondary phloem. The sugars are stored in that secondary phloem. So the sweet portion in the carrot is the secondary phloem, just next to the peridium. In the inner core is the tough portion, that is the secondary xylem pith. So the breeding of one of the important breeding objective in carrot is we have to have less inner core portion. So inner core portion is less means the secondary phloem portion will increase, the sugary portion will increase. If the inner core tough portion is more means it's not much preferable for edible purpose. So carrot was originated in Afghanistan. It was introduced to India in 13th or 14th century. Just please remember wherever these introductions are given in a particular century, because there were previously questions about the introduction of tapioca into India in this century and the introduction of French bean into India in this century. So wherever I have given this introductory centuries, sorry, wherever I have given the centuries where when that particular crop was introduced to India, please remember. There are actually three types of, not only four types of colors in the carrot: red, orange, purple, and yellow. So the purple and yellow carrots were the first domesticated in Europe, and the white and orange types are the mutant of the yellow types. Here are the purple and red types were the first introduced to India, and the orange carrot was introduced much later. So these characters, this alpha carotene and root cracking, yellow xylem, resistant to Cercospora, downy mildew, these all traits were found by the single dominant gene, and the purple root color was found by the two dominant genes. So sometimes we can feel the carrot root is bitter. So the bitter principle in the carrot is due to the presence of isocoumarine. And the important cytoplasmic male sterility system in carrot. There are two types of cytoplasmic male sterility system in carrot. One is the brown anther type, another one is the petaloid type. So in case of brown anther type, what happens? The anthers degenerate. The anthers will not develop, they degenerate, so that the male sterility will operate. So the brown anther type is found in the variety tender, sweet. And the petaloid type male sterility, there is the stamen turns into petals. So literally there are no stamens. So the male sterility will operate by turning the stamens into petals. So this petaloid type of male sterility was found in the cornel wild carrot. And there is a third male sterility system in carrot. This is a hybrid male sterility system. Here it is a hybrid between Dacus gummifer and Dacus carota. So there are three types of male sterility system in carrot. So carrot belongs to the family Umbelliferae. So umbel, cross-pollinated crop, protandry, and the pollination was mediated by the insects. So Pusa Rudira and Pusa Vrishti are the red color carrots. Pusa Asita and Punjab Black Beauty are the black color carrots. And Arca Suras sets the seeds in the tropical South Indian plains. Even South Indian plains also Arca Suras variety set the seeds. So the carrot hybrids were developed based on the cytoplasmic history giver. Pusa Mayanjoti suitable for temperate region, and Pusa Vasudha suitable for tropical regions. And Pusa Payasa is the new variety of carrot that is resistant to powdery mildew. So beetroot, you can say the fourth root crop, root vegetable. So Beta vulgaris subspecies vulgaris, it is known as garden beet, farmer beet, sugar beet, and the subspecies Cycla is a leafy beet. So cultivated beetroot was originated from the Beta vulgaris subspecies Maritima. Perhaps hybridization with the Beta patula. It may be directly originated from subspecies Maritima, or perhaps hybridization with Beta patula. So beetroot requires abundant sunshine for its growth. In case of, if you see the root of beetroot, the upper portion of the swollen part is the hypofertile and the lower portion is the taproot. In case of radish, it is primary roots, secondary roots, and hypofertile. In case of turnip, it is only hypofertile. In case of carrot, it is only taproot. In case of beetroot, it is a combination of hypofertile and taproot. The top portion of the beetroot comes from hypofertile, and the lower portion of the beetroot comes from the taproot. And beetroot is a drought tolerant root crop. The roots of the beetroot can go up to 30 centimeters deep into the soil. The roots of the beetroot can go up to 30 centimeters deep into the soil, so that it facilitates the drought tolerance in beetroot. Excuse me. So the high temperature conditions in the beetroot, they reduce the color of the beetroot. If the temperatures prevailing are very high, the color of the beetroot will affect, and you can see different color marks inside the beetroot. If you cut the beetroot horizontally, you can see different color zones due to high temperature. That is called zoning. And the red violet root color is due to beta cyanins, and the yellow color is due to beta xanthins. And the inflorescence of beetroot is spike. It is cross-pollinated. The cross-pollination was mediated by wind, anemophily. This is an important thing. Cross-pollination in beetroot is mediated by the wind. It is called anemophily. So the round beetroot varieties are Detroit dark red and crimson globe. The flat types are Crosby Egyptian and Limanda. Long. Generally, we see the beetroot with round shape or conical shape, but the long beetroot also there, that is long dark black. So beetroot is susceptible to boron deficiency also.